Here in Chicago, it's always cold during the winter time. It's probably the warmest it's been in a while today. It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And just a couple days ago, it was about 19 degrees. But 2 weeks ago, it was negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit. That's minus 26 Celsius. So yes, we live in a tundra that is not good for Miata videos. I'm going to try to do something about that so I can keep making my videos on my Miata. And you'll see what we have to put up with here. Hey there, welcome to the first episode of my Miata vlog. Today I'm going to basically just give an introduction of what this channel is going to be about and some of the things that I have planned for my car, as well as things that have already been done to the car. And I just hope you can appreciate the content that I have to offer. I know there's a million Miata channels, but a lot of them are located in places like Southern California and Florida, and there's not a whole lot of them that are up in the northern states. I'm actually in the Midwest. I'm in Chicago, and yeah, there are a few from Chicago, and they're all great videos, and everyone adds their own spin to their Miata story. So I'm just here to tell you mine. If this is something that you're interested in watching, go ahead and subscribe and like the videos, and I'll make more of them. So, to tell you about my car, I'm in a 97 NA Miata in Montego Blue. I'm the third owner of this car. The first owner was a vice president of Ford Motor Company. He was at the age of retirement and was having a hard time getting in and out of the car, and ended up selling the car to my father. My father has been a Miata enthusiast for many years. He's probably owned about 4 or 5 of them. And when he saw this one go on sale, he flew to Detroit, one-way ticket, so he could buy it and drive it home. This car had about 16,000 miles on it. The vice president of Ford had kept it basically on his island that he lived in, some sort of gated community on some island outside of Detroit. And according to him, and I just have to take him for his word, he said that the car had never seen rain, had never seen snow, it had never gone above 60 miles an hour because it was on this small little island community. And he had multiple other cars in his garage, like Porsches and other fancier cars than this. And so, yeah, I kind of believe him that, you know, he just kind of drove it around as a kind of like a grocery getter, him and his wife. But you know, his loss is our gain, right? So my dad bought the car and just drove the hell out of it because he loves Miatas, and this was a great one. So he ended up putting about 50,000 miles on the car. Well, less than that, because when I took ownership of the car, it had a little over 50,000 miles. And the way that I acquired the car from my dad is my dad got really sick. And he ended up getting cancer. And about 3 weeks before he lost his battle with cancer, he basically gave me the car. he was too weak to drive it, and he knew that I'm a car enthusiast, and he knew that I would take really good care of the car. And we talked about things that we'd like to do with the car, certain modifications, and I'm going to try to do my best to live up to the things that we talked about before he passed. So, things that I have already done, my dad had put in a cold air intake, a K&N, and I had put on a catback exhaust, a high flow catalytic converter to go with it, and some interior things like a new console. What else here? Little things like that. And I'll go through. I've got put a stereo in and all that. So I'll go through these in separate videos, so they'll each have their own video, and we can kind of go over them at that time. But my dad was a big sports car enthusiast in general, and when he was growing up in the 60s, he drove a lot of British sports cars like MGs, and he had multiple Triumphs, TR4s, TR6s. First car I learned how to drive was a TR6, and that's a pretty manly car. When you try to put the clutch in on that thing, you've got to have some pretty strong legs to push that one in. But problem with those cars is they weren't always reliable, and they tended to leak a lot. So when the Miata came out, my dad was just ecstatic, because here's a great performing car that had a good engine, a well performer, reliable, and no leaks. So he's been a Miata enthusiast since they came out. He's, like I said, he's probably had 4 or 5 of them. He even bought my mom one once. That was the only automatic one that we ever had. All his have been standard transmissions. They were also, I believe they were all NA models as well. If he did have an NB, it would have only been one of them. So I know quite a bit about Miatas, mostly through my dad and just from my own knowledge and working on them. I am not a professional mechanic, so everything that I go over on my videos, this is my disclaimer now, don't hold me liable for you messing up your car because you're trying to emulate something I'm doing. I am an enthusiast, and I do know my way around cars, but it's just from me tinkering on them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to make a lot of technical how-tos. There's quite a few of those out there already, and they do a tremendous job, and they obviously have a lot more time on their hands than I do. But I will put up things that I think are relevant or that may be missing on the internet. I've done quite a bit of videos already that I just haven't posted on YouTube, so I need to just go through my past catalog of videos and edit them and put them on this channel. So you'll probably see fluxes in change of seasons and weather and whatnot. Just be aware that some of these videos may have been recorded in the past before certain other mods have occurred. So that's why it may appear out of order at times. But so my spin on the Miata vlog is I am not in Southern California, and I am not in Florida or Texas or any of the other southern states. I am in Chicago, Illinois, where it is wintry half the year and summer the other half of the year. I will be talking about snow tires and changing out rims. I will be talking about weatherproofing. I will be talking about all sorts of things. Interior work, stereo work, and some engine modifications as well. So, and a lot of maintenance type stuff too. I'm a firm believer that if you own and operate your own car, you should really be the one that does your own maintenance. Your oil changes, your brake pads, filters, things like that. They're so simple. Anybody can do them. I don't care if you're male or female or young or old. Anyone can do these jobs. And the feeling of reward that you feel afterwards is totally worth it. So I highly recommend that. So I'll go over a lot of those too, and some of those might be step by step just because they are pretty easy, and I could probably record those pretty easily as well. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe also so we can grow this channel together. And as always, weather permitting, always drive with the top down and the lights up, because Miata.